Anybody here, I want to start with a question this morning. Anybody here ever feel that they've wasted their life in some way or fashion? Somehow think, well, I could have done more, could have been more, could have accomplished more.
I couldn't.
That's a rhetorical question, Johnny. How many here recognize the name Arthur Berry?
Yeah.
All of you know Arthur Berry. Actually, you probably know him by another name. He was probably one of the most charming men ever to walk the earth. Tall, handsome.
Oh, his name was Johnny Thunder.
I said handsome. Spoke with a British accent. You know, women adore that.
Stay there, old chap.
This man was so charming, he wooed kings of countries, heads of state, presidents, Congress members, parliament members, the rich and elite, the captains of industry. He wooed them all, charmed his way right into their lives, into their homes, and ripped them off, stole them blind. He was also one of the greatest burglars and thieves the world had ever seen. He used to go by the moniker, and they made a movie about it, called The Pink Panther.
Yeah.
That was Arthur Berry, who finally got run down by a French inspector. Inspector Clouseau. A what? He was finally caught by the French inspector and brought to justice for heisting some crown jewels in France, whereupon he spent 21 years until he died in a French prison. The Pink Panther was the nickname, Arthur Berry. Before he died, when they were taking and interviewing him for the possibility of this movie, they asked him, is there no one of importance that you didn't rob? And he thought, and he thought, and he thought. And his answer to the reporter, taking the notes and all that, was, well, you know, anybody that had anything, I probably robbed them at one time or another. But you know the worst person I ever robbed? He said, I've robbed myself. My whole life was focused on fraud and deception and, rascalism. I had no conscience. I had no heart. I had no feeling except to make myself rich at the expense of others. And now I'm spending the rest of my life in this prison. And once I'm dead, no one will remember me any longer. So in your movie, tell them Arthur Berry robbed Arthur Berry first and foremost. And the other people, well, they were just a means to pay the way. Pretty sad, isn't it? Yeah. Now, I know we made a comical movie about that, but the fact of the matter was, he stole billions of dollars worth of gems and jewels and stock and everything from America throughout Europe, even in Asia. The man was a mastermind of deception, deceit, and selfish, unsatiated want. An appetite that could not be quelled. And at the very end of his life, he realized he focused on the wrong thing. Well, Timothy felt like his life was going nowhere too. His life was a waste of time, and at best he could do something easier. At worst, at least he wouldn't have to put up with cretins. And he was going to chunk it all in, blow God off, blow the ministry off, throw it all away. And Paul heard this and wrote to him immediately saying, Timothy, have you forgotten where it all starts here? There's nothing important in this life any more than knowing this single truth. There is one God. And there is one mediator between God and every man and woman on this planet. And that's Jesus Christ. And it is through Christ that God makes His desire known to each of us, that God's only desire is that each and every one of us be saved and brought home to His glory in heaven. That's God's only desire for your life. Whether you do it as an architect or a housewife or a school teacher or a rock and roller, doesn't make any difference. All that stuff is secondary next to knowing Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. We're going to talk about that this morning. What does that mean? For there is one God and one mediator, and I should be a part of that. First, I want you to stand up one final time.